Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the Infinity Vision platforms. This session is all about NTSC Stage 2 question paper discussions. So as of now, in our previous sessions, we have covered the previous year questions of 2020 as well as 19 as well as 18, and in today's session I'll be covering the questions which came in your 2017 NTSC Stage 2 paper. So those student who is new to our platform, they must know the NTSC is the scholarship based examinations. It comprises of two stages, stage 1 as well as stage 2. Stage 1 is your state level examination conducted by different states, and stage 2 is your national level examination conducted by NCERT. Those students who qualify stage 1 goes to the stage 2. Okay, and the level of difficulty at stage 2 is quite different, or you can say quite high as compared to your stage 1. So you have to prepare accordingly. Okay, you since this session is about stage 2, in which I'll be covering a lot of different questions that may or come in your stage 2, as well as I'll give you some of the tips that that would be quite beneficial for you for stage 2. Okay, so again, the marking scheme comprises of, you will be having MAT as well as SAT examination to score from. In MAT you'll be having 100 questions, and each question carries 1 mark, and eventually you can score 100 in MAT. And in SAT you'll be having science as well as maths as well as social studies. Again, it will the combined score that you can get is 100, because you'll be having 100 questions to answer. And in totality you'll be having 200 questions to score, and each question carry 1 mark, and you won't be having negative marking in as well as in both in stage 1 as well as in stage 2. I hope this thing is clear to everyone. So if I'll talk about syllabus comes from your class 9th as well as class 10th. Okay, and this session is about physics question paper discussion, and this is the 4th session in which we'll be covering the paper of 2016 and 17. So let us see how many of you have joined through our portal. Cheshta has joined, and Shubham has also joined, and Hardik has also joined, and some of you are still joining. So I hope चेष्टा आपने सारे क्वेश्चंस वगैरह पीछे के कर लिए होंगे. चेष्टा, am I audible to you? Okay, so we can begin with our today's session, and I hope you guys are doing the previous year questions at the same time, the questions which is related to it, है ना. तो उससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस भी आप करेंगे, जैसे हमने फ्लूइड का किया था ना, कॉन्सेप्ट के क्वेश्चंस किए थे, तो फ्लूइड के जितने भी क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड टॉपिक्स के हैं आप करेंगे. जैसे हमने एक टॉपिक ले लिया मैग्नेटिज्म के क्वेश्चंस किए, तो आप थोड़ा सा घर पे जाके क्या करेंगे कि उसको रिवाइज करते रहेंगे. जो on the basis of questions you can easily revise whole chapter. That would be quite easier for you, है ना. जैसे मैग्नेटिज्म के क्वेश्चन आया तो मैग्नेटिज्म से रिलेटेड घर में जाके सारा रिवीजन करो, जितने भी कॉन्सेप्ट्स है. फ्लूइड से आया, फ्लूइड चैप्टर से क्वेश्चंस आया, तो उसके जितने भी रिलेटेड टॉपिक्स हैं वो सारे रिवीजन करो. ठीक है. So shall we begin our today's session and question करें, बताओ. So this is the question, the first question that come to your screen. You haven't given this velocity time graph. ये आपका velocity time graph already given है. Of an object moving along a straight line is shown below. This is the VT graph which have been shown to you. Which of the following graph represents acceleration time graph for the above motion? So tell me which option would be correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. कौन सा option सही होगा एकदम? Okay, most of you have given the answer. Shubham is saying 1, Cheshta is also saying 1, and Rishit is also saying 1. Okay, this is one such questions which is direct to you, है ना. You need not apply a lot of brain in it. ठीक है, बस आपका ग्राफ से बेस्ड क्वेश्चन सीधा आप इसमें पुट कर सकते हैं. We already know that slope of VT graph gives you acceleration. At this 0 to 1 second of its motion, this slope is constant. That means the acceleration would also be constant, and the slope is increasing. Slope is constant, so this acceleration would be constant for 0 to 1 second. So this graph cannot be possible. The second and fourth graph cannot be possible. So the only option you are left with 1 and 3rd. Again, from 1 to 2 second, the slope of VT graph is 0. So that means the acceleration should also be 0. So the only option that you'll have in which the acceleration is 0 from 1 to 2 second is this option. And again, from 2 second to 3 second of its motion, the slope is negative, and it is also constant. So that means the acceleration is negative. So the answer would be our correct first option, to which most of you are able to solve. Okay, shall we move on to the next question? आगे बढ़े? चलो. This is a question that come to your screen now. A ball released from rest at t equal to 0 second hits the ground. It rebounds inelastically with the velocity of 5 meters per second and reaches the top at 1.5 second. What is the net displacement of the ball from its initial position after 1.5 second? And G, can you take it as 10 meters per second square? So that means a ball has been at a certain height and it has been released. So that means it will come down and it will hit the ground, and again it will rebound to certain height. And this collision is also inelastic. So that means it will lose some of its energy, while during impact it will lose some of its energy, and again it will reach its maximum height. So during fall as well as going up, the total time it has been elapsed is 1.5 second. So you need to find out the displacement of the ball from its initial and final position. So tell me. I hope question is clear to everyone. Cheshta, is it clear? Yes, sir. Okay. Now you may try and tell me the answer. Since it is inelastic collision, that means energy has been lost, so it may not go to its original height. It won't go to its original height. If it is elastic collision, then the rebounding velocity, the speed would be same, then it will go to its maximum height again. But since it is an elastic collision, so that means the energy has been lost, so it won't go to its maximum height again. So what is your answer? Rishit, Shubham, Cheshta, are you getting the answer? You have been given 4 options. देखो कौन सा आएगा? Yes, anyone? Shubham कहा गया है. Shubham is saying second. That is 3.75. And what about others? Hardik, Rishit. Okay, Hardik is also joined. Yes. क्या होगा? Hardik has also got the answer now. Okay. Hardik is also okay. Cheshta is also saying second. And what about Rishit? Rishit नहीं हुआ? इतना टाइम नहीं लगना चाहिए. So we'll be moving to the solution now. See, at its base, if this is a ball and its rebounding speed is also given to you, which is 5 meters per second, है ना, इतना given है. So you can easily find out the time at which it will go to its maximum height. कितना टाइम लगेगा ऊपर जाने में? Okay, टाइम छोड़ो, आप इजीली इसका डिस्प्लेसमेंट भी निकाल सकते हो कि कितना डिस्प्लेस करेगा. आफ्टर हिटिंग द बॉल वी ऑलरेडी नो द इनिशियल स्पीड इज u, विच इज 5 मीटर पर सेकेंड. तो कितना हाइट पे जाएगा? अगेन u स्क्वायर बाय 2g. सो u इज नथिंग बट 5 into 5 divided by 2 into 10. So it would take half 5 by 4 meter. This is the rebounding, this is the height to which it will go after rebounding. So this comes out to be 5 by 4. ठीक है, ये 5 by 4 आ गया है. एक चीज और कि ये जाना प्लस वापस ऊपर जाने तक, ठीक है, इसको टोटल टाइम कितना लगा है? 1.5 सेकेंड. तो ये नीचे रिबाउंड करने के बाद ऊपर जाएगा तो कितना टाइम लगेगा इसको? व्हाट वुड बी इट्स टाइम? टाइम इज u by g. इतना टाइम लगेगा. दिस इज टाइम ऑफ असेंट. So u is 5 and g is 10. So that means it will take 0.5 second to reach to its top most point. So that means इसका मतलब है कि 0.5 सेकेंड यहाँ ही लैप्स हुआ होगा और 1 सेकेंड में वो फॉल किया होगा, तभी वो रिबाउंड करके ऊपर तक जाता है. टोटल टाइम 1.5 सेकेंड से लगता है उसको. सो इसका मतलब नीचे फॉल करने में उसको 1 सेकेंड लगा होगा टाइम, है ना. तो 1 सेकेंड लगा है टाइम, तो यहां से कितना डिस्टेंस फॉल किया होगा वो आप आसानी से निकाल सकते हैं. दिस h डैश मस्ट बी इक्वल टू दिस हाइट. दिस हाइट इज, लेट इट बी h डैश एंड दिस हाइट वाज h, है ना. सो यू नीड टू फाइंड आउट द डिफरेंस बिटवीन h डैश एंड h. सो h डैश कितना होगा, हाफ g t स्क्वायर. सो हाफ एंड g इज 10. 1 सेकेंड लगता है फॉल करने में, तो 1 का होल स्क्वायर, यू विल बी गेटिंग 5 मीटर. सो दैट मीन्स द आंसर वुड बी h डैश माइनस h. दिस वुड बी द डिस्प्लेसमेंट एंड विच इज नथिंग बट 5 माइनस 5/4. सो इट कम्स आउट टू बी 15/4, है ना. यही आया. तो ये कितना होगा, 3.75. So close to 3.75 meter is the correct answer. So second would be the correct answer. Okay, I think Rishit ka bhi to aa gaya hai. ठीक है, very good. I hope this question is clear to everyone. Shall we move on to the next question? Yes. चेष्टा, shall we? Okay, चलो जल्दी आगे बढ़ते हैं. This is also one such important question that you need to understand and learn. देखो क्वेश्चन पढ़ो. A horizontal jet of water is made to hit a vertical wall. So you have been given a horizontal jet through which water is coming out. It will hit the vertical wall, है ना, with a negligible rebound. If that means if water goes over there, it does not rebound, है ना. So it does not rebound. So water jet does not rebound. This has been given to you. If the speed of water from the jet is v, so the speed with which it will hit the wall is v. The diameter of the jet is also given to you, which is d. This diameter is also given to you, and the density of the water is also given to you, which is rho. Then the force exerted on the wall by the jet of the water is. So tell me the answer now. What would be the force imparted on the wall? कितना फोर्स लगाएगा इस पे, क्योंकि जेट इज कमिंग लाइक दिस एंड इट विल हिट द वॉल एंड इट इज नॉट रिबाउंड. ओके, it does not rebound. I hope question is clear to everyone. Okay, so karo. Let us see how many of you are able to solve it. Rishit has got answer fast. Rishit is saying second. Very good Rishit. First time I think आपने सबसे पहले आंसर दिया है. Okay. नहीं दिया है, पहले भी दिया है, ऐसे नहीं है कि, बट मोस्ट ऑफ यू थोड़ा सा लेट हो जाते हैं आप कभी कभी. ओके, ऋषित का आ गया. एंड व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स? चेष्टा, शिवम, हार्दिक. शुभम का भी आ गया. शुभम इज सेइंग फर्स्ट. ओके, दिस इज सच टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन इज वेरी important because it will have some thought in it that need to be clarified, है ना. तो जो thoughts है उसको clarify करना बहुत ज़रूरी है ना. Sometime they ask the same question with different aspect. थोड़ा सा अलग अलग aspect से भी आ सकता है इस टाइप के questions. चेष्टा is saying third. That means you are most of you are not unanimously get a single answer, है ना. You are not able to get the single answer unanimously. ऋषित का आया second. Okay, चलो ठीक है. So shall we'll begin with the solution now. And what about Hardik? Hardik, are you able to solve it? Hardik is saying first. Okay, चलो ठीक है, सबका आंसर आ गया है. सो देखो होता क्या है, we already know that if this is a mass of small m, if it hits, which is moving with the velocity v, okay, if it hits the wall, ठीक है, so that means what is the force if it hits the wall within a second and the impact time is 1 second, so in which this ball come to rest. So that means the force imparted on the wall would be change in momentum per unit time. Okay, so the change in momentum per unit time. So if this collision is taken for 1 second, so that means within 1 second its momentum changes from m into v to 0. है ना? So change in momentum would be 0 final minus m into v. So don't you think this would be the momentum change and this would be the force imparted on the ball. So this is the same force imparted in the wall also. तो वॉल पे भी सेम फोर्स लगाएगा जितना ये इंपार्ट कर रहा है. अगर ये रिबाउंड हो जाता v वेलोसिटी से, तो चेंज इन मोमेंटम कितना आता अब 2mv, है ना? सो चेंज इन मोमेंटम वुड बी 2mv. नाउ द फोर्स इंपार्टेड वुड बी डबल, तो अभी ज्यादा डबल इंपार्ट करेगा फोर्स. ठीक है, सो इस टाइप से आपको याद रखना चाहिए. सिंस द क्वेश्चन में ऑल्सो कम इन डिफरेंट अदर वेज लाइक बुलेट सिस्टम, बुलेट एंड प्लैंक सिस्टम, उस टाइप का भी आ सकता है. सपोज n नंबर ऑफ द बुलेट हैज बीन फायर्ड पर सेकेंड. अगर कोई बुलेट है, n नंबर ऑफ बुलेट्स फायर कर रहे हो पर सेकेंड, एक सेकेंड में, ठीक है, जिसका मास m है, इसकी वेलोसिटी ये है. ठीक है, तो अगर ये इसको हिट करता है एंड इसको एम्बेड हो जाता है ऐसे जस्ट लाइक दिस, तो इसका मोमेंटम भी चेंज हो रहा है 0, है ना? तो हर एक सेकेंड में कितना मोमेंटम का शिफ्ट हो रहा है m इंटू वी. तो इन 1 सेकेंड, सो दिस, एंड हाउ मेनी नंबर ऑफ द बुलेट्स आर देयर इन 1 सेकेंड, n. तो द टोटल फोर्स इंपार्टेड ऑन द वॉल वुड बी n m into v. आप इस टाइप से भी फोर्स याद रखेंगे. If n number of the bullets are fired per second, so this would be the force imparted on, this would be the magnitude of the force imparted on wall. ठीक है, तो इस केस में भी हम वैसे ही करेंगे कि हर एक सेकंड में जेट में से कितना पानी निकलता है ना? तो एक सेकंड में कितना पानी निकलेगा, कितना मास निकलेगा इसमें से. वी ऑलरेडी नो दैट एक सेकंड में अगर ये इफ इट इज अ सिलेंडर, ये सिलेंडर इस पोजीशन से इस पोजीशन आ जाएगा, तो ये डिस्टेंस कितना ट्रेवल करेगा, डिस्टेंस एक सेकंड में, डिस्टेंस इक्वल टू स्पीड इनटू टाइम, टाइम इज 1 सेकंड. सो इन 1 सेकंड दिस मच वॉल्यूम ऑफ वाटर विल कम आउट, है ना? जिसका वॉल्यूम कितना होगा, एरिया मल्टीप्लाइड बाय दिस लेंथ. दिस लेंथ इज डिस्टेंस इक्वल टू स्पीड इनटू टाइम. स्पीड ये है, टाइम 1 सेकंड है ना? तो एक सेकंड में इतना पानी बाहर निकलेगा, डोंट यू थिंक? और इतना वॉल्यूम का पानी बाहर निकलेगा. दिस v इंटू ए, v मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1 इज 1. तो इसका वॉल्यूम कितना होगा, टोटल वॉल्यूम कमिंग आउट विद इन द 1 सेकेंड वुड बी a इंटू वी. इतना वॉल्यूम पानी बाहर आ जाएगा. मल्टीप्लाइड बाय डेंसिटी कर देंगे तो इतना मास पानी बाहर आएगा. ठीक है, और इस मास का वेलोसिटी कितना है, v है. तो वो फाइनली कितना जाएगा, जाके इसको रिबाउंड नहीं करना है, तो फाइनली 0 हो जाएगा. तो आपका आंसर क्या आना चाहिए, सोचो. एंड वॉल्यूम इज पाई आर स्क्वायर एंड डायमीटर इज ऑल्सो गिवन टू यू. सो यू कैन रीथिंक क्या आना चाहिए आंसर. नाउ everything would be this much of information would be enough for you to solve this question. Within each second this much volume will come out, है ना? इतना वॉल्यूम कम आउट हो जाएगा. उसका वॉल्यूम का मास कितना होगा, डेंसिटी मल्टीप्लाइड बाय इट्स वॉल्यूम. ओके, डेंसिटी इज गिवन एज रो, डेंसिटी रो के फॉर्म में है ना. सो ए वी इंटू रो एंड वॉल्यूम इज एरिया इंटू दिस लेंथ विच इज v. Okay, so this is the volume and what would be the mass, and mass कितना होगा, mass is a into v into rho. और एरिया कितना हो जाएगा, पाई r स्क्वायर. r is nothing but density by 2 का डायमीटर का हाफ. सो डायमीटर का हाफ कर दिया, पाई r स्क्वायर into v into rho. अब कितना आंसर आ रहा है? दिस इज अ मास विल कम आउट, दिस मच ऑफ मास विल कम आउट ईच सेकेंड. तो फोर्स इंपार्टेड कितना होना चाहिए? दिस मच ऑफ द मास. तो मोमेंटम कितना होगा मास का? मोमेंटम, इनिशियल मोमेंटम कितना होगा? m इंटू वी. सो इट वुड बी पाई डी स्क्वायर बाय 4v इंटू रो इंटू वी. ये मास था, मल्टीप्लाइड बाय वेलोसिटी कर देंगे तो इनिशियल मोमेंटम आ गया. ये मोमेंटम फाइनली जीरो हो जाएगा क्योंकि इट विल हिट द ग्राउंड, इट विल हिट द वॉल एंड कम टू रेस्ट. तो विच ईच सेकेंड the momentum that changes is this minus this, because final momentum would be zero. So with each second the change in momentum per unit time would be pi d square by 4 v rho and v square. So this would be the correct answer, don't you think? तो किसका आंसर सही है? Only pi by 4 d square rho and v square. तो only Rishit has got the correct answer. I hope this question is clear. Yes, everyone. I hope this question is clear to everyone. Yes, Shubham. Okay, Chishta. Okay. And what about Hardik? Clear है? You may get a modification of such type of question, है ना? Different type of questions, such type of questions, in सब का modification भी हो सकता है. Since this is the force imparted on the wall, what would be the power imparted? कोई बता सकता है? Power क्या होता है भाई? Force multiplied by velocity, don't you think? तो power imparted कितना होगा? Force तो यही निकाला आपने, multiplied by d square by 4, तो ये v cube हो जाएगा. So this would be the power imparted. If they ask about power, then this would be the answer. Remind you, they may ask the answer in the terms of area also, क्योंकि area already आपको बोल देंगे कि इसका क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया a है, तो उस टर्म में भी कैसे निकाल दोगे? बिकॉज pi d square by 4 is your area, so it would be equal to a v cube into rho. This should be the answer, because pi d square by 4 is your area. They may ask you in this term also. Okay, force imparted in the terms of area would be this area into v square into rho. So this would be the force imparted if area is given as a meter square. I hope this question is clear, and this power concept is also clear. This is the force required to for the flow of water. So this much of force is required for flow of water also. This much of the force would be, this much of the force would be imparted on wall also. I hope this thing is clear. Yes. ठीक है चेष्टा? ठीक है. एक चीज और, एक और मॉडिफिकेशन. व्हाट इफ कि ये जो स्प्लैश हिट करके वापस रिबाउंड कर जाए सेम स्पीड से? At that case the power, this force must be twice, don't you think? Change in momentum डबल नहीं हो गया तो फोर्स भी डबल हो जाएगा. ओके, चेंज इन मोमेंटम डबल तो फोर्स भी डबल, तो पावर इंपार्टेड वो ऑल्सो भी डबल. आई होप दिस थिंग इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन. मॉडिफिकेशन आ सकता है इस क्वेश्चन का कि रिबाउंड कर गया, स्प्लैश टकराया, रिबाउंड करके सेम वेलोसिटी से इट विल रिबाउंड. सो इन दैट केस दिस फोर्स, दिस चेंज इन मोमेंटम इज ट्वाइस, जो कि आपको पहले ही बताया हुआ था. इफ एम वी से मूव करता है, इस पे वॉल पे हिट करता है, आफ्टर रिबाउंडिंग इट मूव्स विद द स्पीड वी, चेंज इन मोमेंटम वुड बी 2mv, है ना? अगर वो रेस्ट में आ जाता है तो चेंज इन मोमेंटम कितना होता है? mv. So that's why the force would be twice then. Okay, so we'll be moving to the next question now. This question is very important. ये वाला करो आप. This is simplest question. Two block system has been given to you. They may give you multiple system, 3 block or 4 block system. ठीक है, different systems दे सकते हैं वो आपको. Okay, So the question says the two block A and B of masses 8 kg and 2 kg respectively lie on the horizontal frictionless surface as shown in the figure. They are pushed by the horizontally applied force of 15 Newton. The force exerted by B on A is, we already know the force exerted by B on A is same as force exerted by A on B because these are internal forces, and these are contact forces. So tell me the answer now. Okay, most of you have got the answer. Okay, ठीक है. Rishit is saying, Shubham is also saying, Cheshta has also got the answer. Second, है ना? तो that means 3 Newton. ये तो बहुत simple question है. जितना अगर क्वेश्चन ऐसे आता, what is the force imparted on B because of A, that would also be same, है ना? जितना ये इस पे अप्लाई करेगा, ये भी उस पे इतना अप्लाई करेगा, and that would also be same. So force on B, this is it. So force on A is this much, and these two are having equal magnitude, but they are in opposite directions. So first of all, what you need to know is what would be its combined acceleration of the system. The combined acceleration of the system would be net force by combined mass. Combined mass कितना है? M plus small m ले लेते हैं, तो it would be 15 by 8 plus 2. So this is the common acceleration, or you can say combined acceleration, which is 15 by 10 with, okay, 15 by 10, ठीक है. So it would be 1.5 meter per second square. ठीक है, इतना ही आ रहा है. And what would be its this force? This force, if I'll draw the free body diagram of 2 kg mass, this is the force applied on second kg block because of first, and it has to move with an acceleration of A, which is 1.5 meter per second square. इतने acceleration से इसको move करना है. So this force must be equal to mass into acceleration. Mass कितना है? 2 kg. Acceleration कितना है? 15 by 10. ठीक है. So 2, 5 and 5, 3. तो eventually you'll get 3 Newton. है ना? So ये तो simple question है. So the second would be the correct answer. ठीक है. कुछ simplest question भी आएंगे आपको. Not every question would be complex. तो mind you, these are the questions that need to be dealt in a limited time. है ना? बहुत कम specific time में आपको ये question करना है. ठीक है. So we'll move on to the next question. A beaker half filled with water is put on a platform balance which is then set to 0. That means ये beaker रखा हुआ है आपने half filled and it is on a weighing machine and is put on a platform balance, or what you can say that can read its weight. If it is filled with water half filled and this beaker has been put on it, at this point its reading is 0. It has been set to 0. Now 800 gram mass is immersed partially in water. At air, this body having the mass of 800 gram, which is the reading of spring balance, and it has been lowered into it using a spring balance as shown in the figure. If the spring balance reads 300 gram, after lowering it, the spring balance reads 300 gram. And so the difference in the reading is, the previous was 800 and now it reads 300 gram. What will be the reading of the platform balance? तो क्या होना चाहिए? Rishit has got the answer. Very good, Rishit. Rishit is saying third, 500 gram. Okay. You can take the time for response, है ना? But it should not. You should not take much time. Shubham is saying third. You have to be quick in it. If it is placed, that means its reading is 0. Now a spring balance has been lowered into it. Now what would be its reading? Shubham is saying third. Rishit, and what about Cheshta and Hardik? It can be. It can be. So the answer is third only, 500 gram. That means if it is lowered, it's the spring balance reading is less, which is 300 gram. Earlier it was 800 gram. So that means the reading has been reduced because of buoyant force. We already know that whenever when a body is subjected to it's wholly or partially immersed inside a liquid at rest, it will experience an upward force, and that is the force is called as buoyant force, and that force will reduce its weight. And how much how much is the reduction in the weight, which is 800 minus 300, which is 500. So the reduction in weight is 500 gram, है ना. तो ये जब इसमें पानी में गया, इसका बैलेंस का रीडिंग तो कम आ रहा है, तो इसका मतलब वो पानी, ये इसका रीडिंग, एक्स्ट्रा जो रीडिंग है वो कहाँ चला गया होगा, पानी के अंदर, है ना. क्योंकि बॉइंट फोर्स अगर अपवर्ड लगेगा तो इस पूरे सिस्टम पे भी फोर्स डाउनवर्ड लगेगा. ठीक है. सो जो एक्स्ट्रा जो रीडिंग आ रहा है, ठीक है, जो सो द रीडिंग वुड बी नाउ द एग्जैक्ट रीडिंग ऑफ दिस प्लेटफॉर्म बैलेंस वुड बी 500 ग्राम. ठीक है, बिकॉज देर इज सम रिडक्शन इन वेट. तो वो रिडक्शन इन वेट कहाँ जाएगा, इसी पे जाएगा, सिस्टम पे. ठीक है. तो इसका चलो मॉडिफिकेशन करते हैं. सपोज ये बीकर था, बीकर का वेट लेट इट बी बीकर along with water, let it be 100 gram. तो इसकी रीडिंग, it was earlier it was 100 gram. So now tell me what would be the reading after it this block this system, this spring system has been subjected to the water. Tell me now what would be the reading now. क्या आना चाहिए अब. Initially its weight was 100 gram, not 0, because it hasn't set to 0 now. Tell me अब रीडिंग क्या आएगी. Sometime they also ask you whether the reading will increase or decrease. ऐसा भी आ जाता है. Yes. Tell me what would be the answer now. Initially it's the beaker along with water has a weight of 100 gram. तो कितना आएगा. Yes शुभम. अगेन सेम क्वेश्चन है, इसकी रीडिंग 0 नहीं है, सिर्फ 100 है. यस चेष्टा बताओ. ओके, आई होप एम आई ऑडिबल टू एवरीवन. आवाज आ रही है. यस बताओ. अब 0 रीडिंग नहीं है, अब इसका कुछ वेट ऑलरेडी था ना, वो 100 ग्राम है, तो अब रीडिंग कितनी आएगी. सिंपल तो है. कितनी आएगी. यस चेष्टा. देखो कंटेनर का देखो, इसकी रीडिंग, ये क्या रीड करता है, कितना फोर्स इस पे अप्लाई कर रहा है ना, कितने फोर्स का, न्यूटन का फोर्स इस पे अप्लाई हो रहा है ना, या उसको कैलिब्रेट करके डिवाइडेड बाय 10 करके वो मास निकाल लेता है ना. तो इनिशियली इफ इट इज प्लेस लाइक दिस, 500 ग्राम तो इस पे लगेगा ही, है ना. $500 ग्राम वुड बी द आंसर, प्लस 100 ग्राम. इसका खुद का बीकर का वेट भी तो 100 ग्राम था, जो ऑलरेडी सेट था 100 पे. सो टोटल कितना रीडिंग आ जाएगा. इट वुड बी 600 ग्राम. ठीक है, ये तो बिल्कुल सिंपल था. ऑलरेडी बीकर का वेट 100 ग्राम है, इसमें एडिशनली ऊपर से कितना पड़ा, 500. तो टोटल इसका रीडिंग कितना आएगा. इट वुड बी 600. आई होप दिस थिंग इज क्लियर. So that means buoyant force will reduce a weight of a object placed within water, and loss in its weight is also called buoyant force. ठीक है. And this loss in its weight is according to the Archimedes principle, it is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by that object. That also you should learn. चलो, we'll be moving to the next question now. An object falls a distance 100 distance capital H in 50 seconds when dropped on the surface of the earth. How long would it take for the same object to fall through the same distance on the surface of planet whose mass and radius are twice that of the earth? Neglect air resistance. Tell me the answer now. So the setup has been given to you in which at h meter height on earth, first of all you need to visualize the question. Yes, h meter height on earth, it takes 50 seconds to reach the ground, and when dropped on the surface of earth, how long would it take? Here the acceleration due to gravity is g. For the same ball to fall through the same, and this setup is on earth, on another planet whose mass is, suppose the mass of earth is m, radius of earth is r, now whose mass is twice as well as radius is also twice. So we already know that just g is nothing but g m by r square. Okay, Shubham has got the answer. Third. Very good. Rishit has also got the answer. Third. ठीक है. So इसका g dash इस planet पे, दूसरे planet पे जिसका mass 2m है and radius 2 twice of r है, it would be g 2m by 2r का whole square. So it would be 2 gm by 4r square. So that means it would be 1/3 of g. The acceleration due to gravity on that planet would be g by 2 as compared to earth. And now again it has to fall the same distance h. So how much time it will take, that you need to find out. We already know that this capital H is half gt square. Okay, this must be equal to the same height fallen on that planet, and the time would be, let it be t dash over there. Okay, so this would be equivalent to half g by 2, because the acceleration due to gravity on that planet is g by 2 into t square, t dash ka whole square, that you need to find out. So half se half cancel, eventually here you'll be getting as g by 2 into, okay, so it would be g by 2 t dash whole square. So this must be equal to gt square. So g से g भी cancel, तो eventually t dash whole square would be t root 2. Okay. So t dash whole square comes out to be 2 t root 2. So fall through the same distance on the another whose mass is, okay, ठीक है. How long will it take for the mass to fall? So this would be equivalent to 50 into 1.4142. So it comes out to be 70.7 seconds. तो किस किस का आ गया है? हार्दिक एंड शुभम एंड ऋषित. चेष्टा आपका नहीं आया था ये? ओके, चलो ठीक है. आई होप ये क्वेश्चन क्लियर हो गया है. इसमें कोई ज़्यादा तो है नहीं, लॉजिक ज़्यादा नहीं है, सिर्फ आपको एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी पता होना चाहिए था उस प्लैनेट का. देन रेस्ट इज एवरीथिंग, रेस्ट इज क्वाइट ईजियर फॉर यू, है ना. एंड लास्ट में इवेंचुअली वैल्यू पुट कर दो, यू विल गेट द आंसर. ठीक है. सो इस टाइप के और भी डिफरेंट मॉडिफिकेशंस आ सकते हैं. व्हाट वुड बी इट्स मॉडिफिकेशन कुछ इस टाइप से आ सकता है कि इफ a certain ball has been thrown up with a certain speed v meter per second, like 50 meter per second या 49 meter per second, ठीक है, and it goes to its maximum height. So what would be the height, the maximum height reached on the another planet? What would be, okay, चलो करो क्वेश्चन करो. If a body has been thrown with a speed of v on a certain planet where on Earth whose acceleration due to gravity is g, है ना. So what would be if it is thrown with the same speed on another planet, tell me what would be the height, maximum height reach h dash if at that planet the acceleration due to gravity, at that planet the mass is twice and radius is twice. बताओ आप बताओ. सेम सिचुएशन है, यहाँ पे आपने v वेलोसिटी से थ्रो किया है, इट विल गो टू इट्स मैक्सिमम हाइट. सो ऑन अनदर प्लैनेट ये कितने हाइट तक जाएगा? I hope question is clear. Anyone? Cheshta? Shubham? Rishit? 2h height जाएगा. Twice of the height on earth. Okay. We know that कि अगर वो अर्थ पे होता, अगर h हाइट गया है, so it would be v square by 2g, है ना? So that means अगर वो दूसरे प्लानट पे है, so वहाँ पे h dash must be equal to v square by 2 g by 2, क्योंकि वहाँ पे एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी कितना है? g by 2. So twice of v square by 2g, so must be equal to twice of h. So the answer is correct. हार्दिक का भी सही आया है, and चेष्टा has also got the answer, and शुभम has also got the answer. ठीक है, तो इस टाइप के मॉडिफिकेशंस आ सकते हैं. कई बार ये पूछता है, बोलते हैं on earth it goes to h much on earth if it is it goes to certain height h. On another planet what would be its speed so that the height would be triple on another planet whose mass and radius is different, and it goes to thrice of height. So what would be its initial speed as compared to earth? इस type के different modification आ सकते हैं. So we'll be moving to the next question now. देखो, a source produces sound wave underwater. Waves travels through water and then into air. So that means wave goes from water to air. Which of the following statement about the frequency and wavelength are correct as sound passes from water to air? बताओ क्या होगा? Cheshta is saying frequency will be unchanged and wavelength decreases. Hardik is saying frequency will remain unchanged but wavelength increases. You should not do this question wrongly, because you know the concept. While changing interface in air, its speed decreases, है ना? Okay, now Hardik is saying first. Okay, this is not electromagnetic wave. You should remember this is sound wave, है ना? So this is not electromagnetic wave, in which while changing medium its speed increases or decreases. That you already know, because it is a sound, it is not a wave. Cheshta is saying 1. Now Hardik is also saying 1 and Rishit is also saying 1. What about Shubham? Yes, Shubham. We already know that in water speed of sound is, this is sound only. You have been given a source produces sound wave. Okay, since it is a sound, so it has been produced in water where its speed is more. Okay, while changing interface, we already know that the frequency remains constant. That we already know. This is also applicable for sound as well as electromagnetic waves. So the frequency would remain constant, because frequency only depends upon source. है ना, वो सोर्स पे डिपेंड करता है कि कितना पर सेकंड में कितना वो ऑसिलेट कर रहा है ना, वो सोर्स पे डिपेंडेंट होता है, वो मीडियम चेंज होने पे डिपेंड नहीं करता, ठीक है। वाइल चेंजिंग मीडियम द साउंड स्पीड, इफ इट कम्स टू एयर द साउंड स्पीड डिक्रीजेस, साउंड की स्पीड डिक्रीज करती है। तो वी ऑलरेडी नो दैट you already know that relationship between sound speed v is equal to frequency multiplied by wavelength, है ना, ये रिलेशन तो हमें ऑलरेडी पता है। जब ये कांस्टेंट है, जब जैसे ही एयर में गया, एयर में स्पीड कम हो जाती है ना साउंड की एज कंपेयर टू वाटर, तो एयर में स्पीड कम हो गई तो वेवलेंथ भी कम, इसका मतलब उसका वेवलेंथ कम हुआ होगा तभी तो स्पीड कम हुई है, डोंट यू थिंक? ओके, शुभम का भी आंसर आया, दैट इज शुभम इज आल्सो सेइंग फर्स्ट। ओके, सो दैट मीन्स अगर एयर में इसकी स्पीड कम हो गई है, दिस इज कांस्टेंट, है ना, एयर में स्पीड कम हो जाना, ये कम हो जाने का मतलब ये वेवलेंथ कम हुई होगी पक्का, ठीक है। सो वेवलेंथ डिक्रीजेस। व्हाट इफ इट इज एन इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव, लाइट वेव है, तो आंसर क्या होता बताओ? वाटर से एयर में जा रहा है लाइट, then tell me what would be the answer. Or one more thing, while it is changing medium, if it goes from water to air, it won't go away, it will go towards normal. याद रखना, साउंड ऐसे ऐसे जाता है towards normal जाएगा, not away. इसमें उल्टा होता है, इसमें बताओ। if light goes from water to air, then what would be your answer? Second, very good, है ना, क्योंकि वाटर से एयर में जाने पे स्पीड इंक्रीज करती है, वो तभी इंक्रीज कर सकता है जब उसका वेवलेंथ इंक्रीज हुआ होगा, है ना। दिस इज कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्वेश्चन, बट मोस्ट ऑफ यू वुड डू द मिस्टेक और आप लाइट का करके आ जाओगे एंड आपका आंसर बिल्कुल गलत हो जाएगा, ठीक है। तो यू मस्ट रिमेंबर साउंड इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम लाइट। इन लाइट, if it is changing from denser, if it is going from denser towards rarer medium, it will move away, है ना, and its speed increases. While it is moving from water to air, its speed increases. That can only happen when wavelength increases. For light, for sound it is different, है ना, sound के लिए ये चीज different है। I hope this thing is clear to everyone. Rishit, Hardik. Okay, we'll be moving to the next question now. The question has been given to you. Now tell me the answer now. The diameter of the wire is reduced to 1/5. This is the simplest question that you can get, in which you have to make use of resistance formula, which is related to length as well as its area. The diameter of the wire is reduced to 1/5 of its original value. So that means diameter has been reduced. So that means its radius has also been reduced to the same proportion by stretching it. If its initial resistance was R, what would be its resistance after reduction of the diameter? So after reduction of the diameter, what would be its new resistance? That you need to find out. Okay, most of you are, Rishit has got the answer. Shubham and Hardik is also saying fourth. Okay. And what about Cheshta? Cheshta is saying third. Okay. Then we'll look after the question now. See, suppose this is a wire which has been given to you. Originally it has got length of L and diameter, let it be D. So let radius is R. So initially this R must be equal to rho L by pi R square, don't you think? This we already know. Now if its diameter has been reduced to 1/5 by molding it, by stretching it, that means its volume will remain constant. So if its diameter is reduced to 1/5, so that means its radius would also becomes R by 5, don't you think? If its diameters becomes 1/5, so radius should also becomes 1/5. So now what would be its area? Area would becomes, now new area would becomes pi r square. So r by 5 whole square. So it would become pi r square by 25. So that means from original area it becomes 1 by 25th. If area becomes 1 by 25th, keeping volume same, the new length, this new length would be equivalent to 25 times of previous length. Don't you think? Okay. So that means its new length would become 25 times. The area would becomes 1 by 25th times. So that means the length should also becomes 25th times. We already know that if area becomes 1 by n times, the length should becomes n times. If vice versa is also true. If length becomes n times, the area should becomes a by 1 by n times. Okay, so the new length is 25L. So that means the new area, new radius, new resistance would become rho, since it's the same material. So it would be rho L by A, L dash by A dash. So rho L dash is 25L divided by area is previous area 1 by 25. So it would become 25 into 25, which would be 625 of R that we are getting. And so fourth would be the correct option. Okay, most of you are able to solve it. Okay, so you must remember this concept. They have already given you hint. That means the same wire has been stretched, so it means its volume will remain constant. Okay, so ये mistake मत कर देना फिर से again. I hope चेष्टा it's clear to you. आपने ये mistake किया अभी, ठीक है? So we'll be moving to the next question. जल्दी से next question पे आ जाते हैं. बताओ. An object of mass m moving along a straight line with speed u. So let it be m. It is moving with the speed u, collides with heavier mass capital M. Let it be at, because initially it is at rest, so because nothing is given to you, so that means it is at rest. Okay, so that means initially this was a condition. After collision, they gets embedded into it. It get embedded into it. If the combined system of capital M plus small m keeps moving with in the same direction, then which of the following statement is correct? So that means after collision, the system become capital M plus small m, and its combined velocity, let it be v, which is also in the same direction. And from the conservation of momentum, you can easily find out this velocity v in the terms of m, capital M, small u. Okay, and you can find out the answer. So tell me which option is correct. Anyone? In the exam, you won't be getting hints, so you have to practice more and more questions. Shubham is saying third, and Rishit is also saying third, and Cheshta has also got the answer, but Cheshta is saying fourth. Shubham is saying third. So देखो भाई, सबका आ गया. What about Rishit? What about Hardik? What happened Hardik? क्या हुआ? नहीं आ रहा? Okay, you can easily apply conservation of momentum over here. So the initial momentum was mu plus 0 must be equal to final momentum of the system, which is m plus small m into v. So v comes out to be mu by capital M plus small m, है ना? Again, the initial kinetic energy, because it has got embedded into the bigger mass, so that means there has to have some loss of energy. Okay, Chishta is saying sir third ही होगा. I accidentally typed 4 instead of third. There will be loss of kinetic energy equal to half m square u square by capital M plus small m. So this was its this is the velocity with which the embedded object will move. So initial kinetic energy was half m u square plus 0, don't you think? So this was the k initial. What was k final? Half m plus small m into this whole square, m square u square by capital M plus small m whole square. This is, so this would cancel out each other. So eventually what you'll be getting? Half m square u square by capital M plus small m. So this is the expression that you are getting. I hope it is visible to everyone. Cheshta, is it visible? So this would be m square u square, half m square u square by, this is k final kinetic energy. We already know that if it can only happen if some of the kinetic energy has been lost, and then only it get embedded into it. Okay, and this is also once it's get embedded into it, and which kind of collision it is. कौन सा collision है ये, जहाँ पे वो चिपक जाता है दूसरे ऑब्जेक्ट से जाके? Yes, inelastic, perfectly inelastic collision, है ना? We are dealt with elastic collision. We are dealt with perfectly elastic collision in which there is no loss of energy before and after collision. Okay, and inelastic collision there is some loss of energy, and in this perfectly inelastic collision also has got loss of energy. ठीक है? So अब जल्दी करो, loss in energy कितना आ रहा है? पहला kinetic energy of the before and after collision are same. This is not true. Kinetic energy after collision is half. This is also not true. क्या ये होगा? Final minus initial करो, loss आ जाएगा. नहीं, initial minus final करो, not final minus initial. Yes, क्या आना चाहिए? Now Rishit is saying fourth. चेष्टा, क्या आएगा आंसर? अभी भी थर्ड आ रहा है. फाइनल माइनस इनिशियल करो ना, कितना आएगा? आर यू एबल टू सॉल्व इट? यस, बताओ. नहीं, इनिशियल माइनस फाइनल करो, क्योंकि फाइनल इन तो कम हो गया ना एनर्जी. तो जल्दी बताओ कितना आएगा. आई होप ये तो करना आना चाहिए. हाफ एम यू स्क्वायर माइनस हाफ एम स्क्वायर यू स्क्वायर बाय एम प्लस स्मॉल एम. ठीक है, अब करना क्या है इसमें? यू स्क्वायर बाय 2 कॉमन ले लो इसमें से. यू स्क्वायर बाय 2 कॉमन ले लिया, तब आसान हो जाएगा करना, है ना? तो अंदर क्या बचेगा? स्मॉल एम, ये इससे मल्टीप्लाई होगा, तो यू विल बी गेटिंग नीचे में कैपिटल एम प्लस स्मॉल एम, एंड इस ये से मल्टीप्लीकेशन होगा, तो यू विल बी गेटिंग कैपिटल एम स्मॉल एम प्लस एम स्क्वायर माइनस एम स्क्वायर. एम स्क्वायर से एम स्क्वायर कैंसिल. This is the correct answer, fourth that you are getting. So are you able to solve it? हुआ? So you finally will be getting answer half u square m capital M small m in divided by m plus small m. चेष्टा आपने देखा कहाँ गलती करी है? देखो ये these are very simple question and that can go wrong, है ना. सो ये सिंपल क्वेश्चन को भी आप रॉन्ग कर सकते हो. सो मेक श्योर जो भी आप कर रहे हो ना क्वेश्चंस वगैरह थोड़ा सा लॉजिक से करो, है ना. इनिशियली विद स्टेप्स you can easily find out the combined velocity by conservation of momentum. Then again, we already know that since it is an inelastic collision, perfectly inelastic collision, there has to have some loss. So this option is also wrong. ये तो wrong ही होगा, है ना. Then उसके बाद system का kinetic energy initial and final निकाल लो. Okay, उससे उसके बाद फिर loss in energy निकालोगे तो ये this would be the answer. So Rishit has got the correct answer. Earlier you were also getting the correct answer, I think, but you haven't solved it. चेष्टा, है ना. Solve नहीं किया है. Solve किया था क्या? Solve करते तो answer. You should be confident. You should not have changed the answer. Okay, okay. And what about Shubham? Shubham, is it clear to you? Okay. Rishit का तो आंसर सही आया है. आई होप कि इसने सही मेथड से किया है. ओके, एंड व्हाट अबाउट, ठीक है. चलो ये क्वेश्चन करो जल्दी से. A vessel is filled with oil as shown in figure. A ray of light from point O at the bottom of the vessel is incident on the oil and water air interface at a point P and grazes the surface along PQ. It goes just like this. It moves from oil to, if a light ray moves from oil to air. So the refractive index of the oil is simple question, but need to have some calculation. You'll be doing some calculation. Yes. This length is 17. This is 12. You can easily apply Snell's law at the two interfaces. Apply the Snell's law and find out the answer. Yes, what you are getting? Again, it would be you need to do some calculation. Then only you would be able to solve it. You know the concept, just you have to apply it, and the numerical part will come into play in this question. So tell me, what is the answer? What's your answer? थोड़ा कैलकुलेशन है, बहुत ज़्यादा भी नहीं है. Shubham has got the answer, 4th. Very good, Shubham. You need to keep practicing the questions, है ना, and within the time specific limit, within the specific time. So we'll be doing question now. We already know that applying Snell's law at the interface. Okay, what happened, Cheshta? And Rishit? Rishit is still doing, okay. We already know that applying Snell's law, N1 sine theta 1 must be equal to N2 sine theta 2. So if this is the, if light ray goes from oil to air, so this oil would have a refractive index of, let it be N, because light ray moves from this medium to this medium. Here this angle of incidence is, let it be I. So it would be, don't you think it would be sin I must be equal to, the refractive index of air is 1. The 1 into, and this refracting angle is 90 degree. है ना, normal से कितना है? It is 90 degree. So it would be sin 90. So and sin I must be equal to 1. And what is sin I? Sin I is perpendicular by this hypotenuse. So this would be equivalent to root of 12 whole square plus 17 whole square, because this distance is 17 and this distance is 12, which has been given to you. So it comes out to be root of 12 whole square plus 17 whole square. It comes out to be close to 20.8. I hope you might be getting this. Okay, so 20.8. So n is nothing but 1 upon, so what you need to find out, refractive index of the wall. So it would be equal to 1 upon sin I. So 1 upon sin I, sin I is nothing but, sin I is perpendicular by base. Perpendicular is 12 and base is 20.8. So eventually you'll get n which is close to 1.73. I hope now it is clear. ठीक है. So we'll be moving to the next question. Yes. A charged particle placed in an electric field falls from rest through a distance d in the time t. If the charge on the particle is doubled, the time of fall through the same distance will be. क्या होगा? Yes. We already know that if this is a uniform electric field and a charged particle having charge q is placed in it and this electric field is E, so this will experience a force, and that force is equal to q into E. So this much of force this charge will experience. If it is positive charge, it will move, because since electric field would always move from positive charge towards negative charge, so you can consider this to be a positive charge and this, you can consider this portion to be a negative charge. So that means electric field always moves from positive towards negative charge. And if it is positive charge which has been placed in the electric field, so this will move towards right and in the direction of electric field. If it is negative charge, so this will move towards left in the direction against electric field. So positive charge always moves in the direction of electric field and negative direction always moves in the direction opposite to the electric field. So since it hasn't been specified whether it is positive or negative charge, you can take it as positive charge, है ना? A charged particle is placed like just like this. If the charge on the particle is doubled, now this is the first condition. Initially it has got q charge. Let its mass be m. So its force is QE. So what would be its acceleration? Force by mass. So QE by m is its acceleration. Now this body will accelerate because since it has been subjected to electric force, so it will accelerate in the direction like this. Okay. So in t time, okay, it moves a distance of d. So this would be its initial speed was 0, and so this d distance must be equal to ut plus half at square. So it would be equivalent to half a, acceleration is QE by m, half a into t square. T square is this much. In the second condition, if its charge becomes double, so what they have asked, the time of the fall through the same distances. So what would be its time t dash so that it goes the same distance. So that means this d distance is same. So in the second condition also this must be equal to half twice of q e divided by m into t dash ka whole square. Don't you think? I hope this, is it visible to everyone? So this d distance must be equal to half qe by m into t square. This must be equal to the second condition distance, because in the second condition also the distance is same. So this can easily be written as half. In second condition charge is twice, so 2q e by m into t dash whole square. Solve it. Now tell me the answer. Shubham का already आ गया है. Shubham is saying third, t by root 3. चेष्टा का भी आ गया third, and what about others? Okay, चलो ठीक है. So the t dash, इसको जल्दी से हम solve करेंगे. हाफ से हाफ कैंसिल, q से e से कैंसिल, q e कैंसिल, m से m कैंसिल. Finally you will be getting t dash as t by root 2, है ना. तो ये आपका ये आंसर है. नाउ यू विल बी डूइंग लास्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ द डे. ठीक है, लास्ट क्वेश्चन पे आ जाते हैं. AB is a long wire carrying a current I1 and PQRS. Such type of question does come. ये इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन बहुत आते हैं, याद रखना. AB is a long wire carrying a current I1 and PQRS is a rectangular loop carrying current I2. Just like this, it is carrying current in the clockwise direction. Which among the following statements are correct? Arm PQ will get attracted to wire AB and arm RS will get repelled from AB. PQ will get repelled and AB and RS gets attracted. Force on arm PQ and RS will be unequal and opposite. Or force on the arm QR and SP will be 0. Tell me the answer now. Chishta is saying third, A and C. Shubham, and what about Shubham? So we already know that I1 would produce its own magnetic field, है ना. तो I1, since it is a current carrying conductor, this would also produce its own magnetic field. So this I2 wire, this length of I2 wire would be in the magnetic field of I1 wire. So magnetic field is inward, don't you think? For this wire, this magnetic field, because of I1 is inward, है ना. ऐसा ही है, it is inward using right hand thumb rule. So no, magnetic field because of triangle. Which one? PQ upward direction में. I hope ये visible नहीं है आपको. PQ is in upward direction, Q is in this direction. The clock I2 current is clockwise. ठीक है. So that means I1, this I2, this PQ wire is in the magnetic field of this I1 wire. So because of I1, the magnetic field at this point would be inward, don't you think? होगा. अब now this much portion of the wire is in the magnetic field of first. तो जब भी whenever a current carrying wire is placed within magnetic field, it will experience force which is equal to ILB. होगा. तो इस पे फोर्स कितना होगा इस पॉइंट पे? सपोज अगर ये d डिस्टेंस पे है, तो यहाँ पे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड कितना होगा? I1 वायर की वजह से मैग्नेटिक फील्ड वुड बी म्यू नॉट I1 बाई 2 पाई आर 2 पाई डी. यही होता है इनफाइनाइट वायर का, है ना. इतना मैग्नेटिक फील्ड लग रहा है अंदर की तरफ, और ये वायर जो है इतना पोर्शन जिसका लेट की इसका लेंथ है, लेट इट बी एल, लेट इट्स लेंथ बी एल. पूरा डिटेल में करेंगे हम, है ना. सो दिस मच ऑफ PQ वायर वुड एक्सपीरियंस्ड फोर्स. वी ऑलरेडी नो दैट जब भी whenever a current carrying wire is placed within magnetic field, it will experience force, and that force is कॉल्ड मैग्नेटिक फोर्स एंड इट्स मैग्नीट्यूड इज गिवन बाय I, जो कि इसमें करंट होता है I2, L पोर्शन लेंथ PQ का इंटू B, जिसकी मैग्नेटिक फील्ड में है। तो इस टाइप से होगा, है ना। B की वैल्यू यहां से पुट कर सकते हो। अगर नाउ अगर इसको आपका वो निकालना है, अगर आपको इस पे फोर्स का डायरेक्शन निकालना है, वी ऑलरेडी नो दैट you have to go from in the vectorial form, this force vector would be cross product of length and b vector। तो लेंथ आपका ऊपर में है, b कहां तक जाना है, b वेक्टर तक, लेंथ इज इन द अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन एंड b इज इनटू द प्लेन, है ना। मैं ऐसे जा रहा हूं, है ना, लेंथ ऊपर है, b अंदर की तरफ है, सो फोर्स किधर लगेगा, thumb will give you the direction of force, don't you think? We have to move from L to B, length is upward and length is in the same direction of current, ठीक है। सो L से B की तरफ जाना है, तो फोर्स वुड बी here। नाउ आप जल्दी से इस पे भी बताओ, इस पे फोर्स कितना लगेगा। सो द फोर्स वुड इन फोर्स ऑन द PQ वायर वुड बी टुवर्ड्स AB। एंड व्हाट अबाउट RS, RS में कितना लगेगा, again it would be in the magnetic field of this this would be in the magnetic field of I1 and it is also inward, but इसका वायर में करंट डाउनवर्ड है, तो you have to move from L, इसका लेंथ डाउनवर्ड होगा, L to B जाएंगे, तो इस पे फोर्स आउटवर्ड लगेगा, है ना। अब मैग्नीट्यूड भी निकाल सकते हो, सिंस इफ यू नो द दिस डिस्टेंस, है ना। अगर ये डिस्टेंस अगर को पता है आपको, तो आसानी से ये डिस्टेंस ये फाइंड आउट कर सकते हो, है ना। मैग्नेटिक, क्योंकि मैग्नेटिक फील्ड यहाँ पे चेंज हो जाएगा, क्योंकि जितना जितना दूर जाएंगे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड कम होता जाता है। सो इट विल एक्सपीरियंस फोर्स इन द आउटवर्ड डायरेक्शन। एंड व्हाट अबाउट QR एंड PS, बताओ QR एंड PS का क्या होगा। व्हाट वुड हैपन टू द QR एंड PS, जैसे जैसे दूर जाएंगे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड I1 की कम होती जाएगी, दोनों वायर पे। यहां पे तो वैसे इनवर्ड है तो इनवर्ड, दिस विल एक्सपीरियंस्ड फोर्स इन IL क्रॉस B अपवर्ड, दिस वुड एक्सपीरियंस्ड फोर्स इन IL क्रॉस B डाउनवर्ड। ऑल्दो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इज डिक्रीजिंग, द फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन द वायर विल कीप ऑन डिक्रीजिंग। फाइनली यहां पे धीरे धीरे कम फोर्स होता चला जाएगा, यहाँ पे ज्यादा लग रहा था क्योंकि पास में मैग्नेटिक फील्ड ज्यादा थी, तो फोर्स ज्यादा, तो धीरे धीरे फोर्स भी कम, तो ये एक दूसरे को कैंसिल नहीं कर देंगे, बोलो चिष्टा, इज इट क्लियर। सो द नेट फोर्स बिकॉज ऑफ QR and PS must be 0 because these are in opposite direction, but the net force because of PQ and RS is not 0 since this force is less than this force. So finally this rectangular loop carrying current of I2 will move in which direction? इधर वाले फोर्सेस बैलेंस हो गए, ये वाला फोर्स कम होगा इससे, क्यों, क्योंकि इसका मैग्नेटिक फील्ड दूर है, ये इसका मैग्नेटिक फील्ड पास में है, तो नेट फोर्स कहां लगेगा, यस चेष्टा, नेट फोर्स कहां लगेगा। फाइनली ये लूप किधर जाएगा, टुवर्ड्स वायर, दिस वायर, है ना। तो क्योंकि F PQ इज ग्रेटर देन F RS, आई थिंक मैग्नीट्यूड भी आपको ऑलरेडी गिवन है। अगर मैं इस पॉइंट पे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड मैग्नीट्यूड निकालना चाहूं, सो लेट दिस डिस्टेंस बी A, तो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड एट दिस डिस्टेंस कितना होगा, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, लेट इट बी B डैश म्यू नॉट I2 बाय, ओके नहीं ये इसकी वजह से है, तो म्यू नॉट I1 बाय 2 पाई A, है ना। तो ये मैग्नेटिक फील्ड है इस पॉइंट पे, तो जो कि इस वाले से कम है ना, तो फोर्स भी तो कम ही होगा, क्योंकि इसका लेंथ और इसका लेंथ सेम है, इस पे करंट और इस पे करंट सेम है, डोंट यू थिंक। सो फोर्स ऑन PQ का मैग्नीट्यूड ज्यादा है एज कंपेयर टू फोर्स ऑन आर एस के मैग्नीट्यूड से, तो इसलिए ये वायर इधर आएगा, इन दोनों पे फोर्स, नेट फोर्स अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में है तो बैलेंस कर देंगे एक दूसरे को, ठीक है। आई होप दिस क्वेश्चन इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन. So this question will end up today's session. Okay, so till that time you can do the revision as well as you can do the questions which came on your previous year examination. Thank you.